a noble name, and a powerful army. The nobility. His name is his strength.
I fail to see what's so honorable about having everything handed to you at birth.
How dare you!
Can't you see that your family's past glories are meaningless now?
I shall show you the true power of the Yuan family!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the series where we're counting down the top Dynasty Warriors characters as of the latest game. Coming in at number 66, we got Yuan Shao. Yuan Shao was a nobleman and ardent supporter of the Han Dynasty who raised a large, powerful army in response to the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Initially born of low prestige, he grew to be a kind-hearted figure of charisma and went against the tyranny of Dong Zhuo. And during the twilight years of the Han Dynasty, he eventually grew more arrogant and corrupt as he reigned as a supreme northern power until his death. His territories were eventually claimed by his former friend, Cao Cao. Before we jump into how he has changed, let's go ahead and jump into the popularity polls to see why he is down here at number 66. In the first popularity poll, Yuan Shao receives 516 votes out of a total of 75,000 and puts him at the 56th spot. And then in the second popularity poll, he drops down to the 63rd spot. And then in my personal rankings, he's up at the 53rd spot, putting him down at the 66th spot. So you saw the intro. Both of those people that I was using to represent Yuan Shao was Yuan Shao. I think the best thing to start off with this character is definitely how he's changed look-wise, sound-wise, because that is the most obvious thing about the character. He's probably the most changed character out of all the other characters in the game. His appearance changed drastically from the 5th game over into the 6th game. So let's go ahead and talk about his appearance first and his voice acting and all that, and then we'll jump into his relationships, his weapon style, and all the other good stuff. So in earlier titles, Yuan Shao is portrayed as an honorable and proud general, reluctant to take the role of the Alliance's supreme commander during the war against Dong Zhuo. As the series progresses, Yuan Shao's pride and haughty traits have been vastly exaggerated to the point of absolute arrogance and pretentiousness. He speaks with a flamboyant and high and mighty attitude. He is known to make passionate and inspirational speeches about justice and valor, gaining the love of the people for his impeccable image. Somewhat incompetent compared to other lords and unwilling to take others' advice. However, he is depicted as a man who doesn't completely fit the heroic image he claims to be. So Yuan Shao's been in the game since Dynasty Warriors 2. Up until Dynasty Warriors 5, he looks relatively the same. Like I said, he was portrayed as an honorable, proud general, and he was actually, I would say he is a very likable character at that point. And then from the 6th game and on, they changed him to be more pretentious and arrogant, especially around the idea of him being a noble and, looking down on, commoners and, all that other stuff. He's got that very, egotistical view about himself and looks down upon people who aren't of the same rank as him but want to achieve similar goals. All right, so now let's go over his voice acting since it is in pair with the changes of his appearance. When he changes from the, honorable general look.
Yes. All right then. I accept the position of Grand Commander, and I swear to destroy the traitor Dong Zhuo.
To the flamboyant and noble exaggeration look.
I am insulted! As the head of the noble Yuan family, I've a duty to support the imperial throne.
The voices that change with him are very good. In the first Dynasty Warriors games, he had a pretty good voice actor for the look he had. Nothing to complain about there. Just some fun facts about his early voice actor. Also he did the Beast King in One Punch Man. He did Sorbet in Dragon Ball Super, and the biggest one that I'm aware of, he did Kurama in the Naruto series, so that's pretty huge and pretty cool to find out. Now moving on to Dynasty Warriors 6, his voice acting, again, it changes because his looks change, and I can't complain about it. It fits how Yuan Shao looks. He looks like he's the type of person to talk like that, and the voice actor did a good job. This is probably the most prestigious voice actor that Yuan Shao has had, at least to me. This voice actor has voiced Kakashi Hatake from the series Naruto, which is one of the most popular characters from that show. If you watch that show, you'll know what I'm talking about. So the Dynasty Warriors 6 guy did Kakashi in Naruto, so that was pretty cool to find out. And then for Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8, he had the same voice actor who also did Superman in the game Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. I used to play the game all the time, so it was pretty cool to see that. And then in Dynasty Warriors 9, he gets a new voice actor. Again, they all sound good for the way Yuan Shao looks. And I thought starting off with his changes in appearance and voice acting was the most appropriate because, I mean, honestly, out of all the characters, again, he's probably the one who has changed the most. From the Dynasty Warriors 5, Dynasty Warriors 6, his look probably changed the most drastically out of all the other characters. Alright, so now let's go ahead and jump into his weapon style. In the earlier games, he has a sword in Dynasty Warriors 2 through 6. He has the sword, the long sword. Even when he makes the jump from Dynasty Warriors 5, Dynasty Warriors 6, when he changes his looks and his voice, he still has the long sword at that point. And then in Dynasty Warriors 7, 8, and 9, they're pretty much the exact same blade. The Dynasty Warriors 7 weapon was called the rapier, and then the Dynasty Warriors 8 and 9 is called the extension blade. They're basically the exact same weapon. There's not really that much difference to them. And to be honest, the Musou and like the moveset for, the newer Yuan Shao is pretty much the same from Dynasty Warriors 7 and up. When he gets the rapier, his moveset is pretty much the same. Same Musou, same aerial Musou, same moveset pretty much. And if I had to choose one, I definitely would prefer the sword that he had versus the extension blade that he has now. It's a little hard to control at some points because Dynasty Warriors 9 it was pretty easy because it was similar to Liu Shan. Liu Shan also had, I believe, an extension blade. So the little jabbing thing that Yuan Shao does was pretty helpful for taking down officers and all that. But Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8 it was a little bit more difficult because in Dynasty Warriors 9 there's like a lock-on feature. You can lock onto the officer and continuously attack him over and over again. Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8 you really had to manually aim where you were attacking with the sword, and when you attacked you left yourself vulnerable if you missed because the sword attacks so fast that you'd be caught in a combo and you can get countered and it can do some damage and stuff like that. It wasn't the best weapon to play as, but it wasn't that bad. But the swords that he used in the first few games were the best ones, I think. The Musous weren't too flashy or anything like that. It was a pretty simple move set. I didn't have anything to complain about it. Definitely would prefer the regular long sword or the sword over the extension blade. Now let's go ahead and finish up with his relationships. Now Yuan Shao has many relationships among his people, but most of them are NPCs. It's like his brothers and his children and his other officers and everything like that. But the main one that he has is with Cao Cao. And the reason that he has one with Cao Cao is because Cao Cao is an old friend of Yuan Shao's. Yuan Shao is a childhood friend of Cao Cao, but the relationship is strained at best. Yuan Shao in particular deems his friend to be of an inferior rank and considers his friend to be a rude upstart. Cao Cao in turn criticizes him as a man who relies too much on his family past and is too inept to survive in the land's war. Even so, Yuan Shao does express regret when they face one another at Guandu. So I guess it's a perfect time to talk about the most significant battle that Yuan Shao has, and then his relationship with Cao Cao. Other than the Battle of Hulao Gate, which Yuan Shao actually was the commander for, the most significant battle for Yuan Shao was the Battle of Guandu, because that was the first time I believe that Yuan Shao took a loss like that, and he never recovered. And that's when he fought with Cao Cao, which again is his childhood friend. And that's why in the beginning, in the intro, Cao Cao always has something to say in the games about, your name is not everything. Don't get caught up in your name kind of thing. Being a noble doesn't make you rightful to, lead the land and stuff like that. It takes work. It takes sacrifice. It takes, certain ideals and everything. And that's where Cao Cao and Yuan Shao didn't see eye to eye. And the Battle of Guandu is depicted in pretty much all the games that you play. And it's the battle between Yuan Shao and Cao Cao. Cao Cao and Yuan Shao definitely had a good friendship even after Yuan Shao's death. He wasn't killed at the Battle of Guandu. He was beaten and he retreated, and I believe he passed away from illness before he decided on which of his children to succeed him and all that. But he passed away, and Cao Cao later on comes to his grave to pay his respects because it was just, I guess they had a good friendship when they were children, and even though it came to them fighting, Cao Cao still showed that respect, and I believe Yuan Shao also was a little regretful because of how things ended up. But that's pretty much all I have for Yuan Shao here. Nobleman, he changed a lot from the first Dynasty Warriors he was a part of, all the way back from Dynasty Warriors 2. He's an OG. Commander at the Hulao Gate, probably one of the most famous battles for Dynasty Warriors. It's probably like one of the first, 1 or 2 stages you play as. So a lot of people have played it if you played this game. And you'll definitely know who Yuan Shao is because he's the commander in that battle. But that's all I really have for Yuan Shao here. He's number 66. Number 65 will be coming out here pretty soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, definitely appreciate a like, comment, subscribe. If you guys play as Yuan Shao, or if you guys have any opinions or thoughts or comments about him, let me know down in the comment section. But that's all I have for the video, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.